Welcome guys to the final round of the Pacific Endurance League, and we are at the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi. I am back for the final round. Unfortunately, I'm on my own, but the excitement is still going to be 100% in this final race, and we're going to see these guys take on this tight circuit here of 21 corners around the Abu Dhabi track. Now, it's been quite a while since I've been around, so I've missed out on a bit of action around these guys, but we are definitely keen to get jumping back into this final race. And it does just before we start, I'll stick up the standings so you guys can catch up on what's been going on, and I can catch myself up too a little bit and see how these guys have been going on. So let's get all this telemetry and everything up. So it does look like that iContrast has already won the championship there. He's got a tasty 58-point lead, which is going to be mathematically impossible for these guys to grab off P1 from him, but there's definitely a tight battle still happening for P2. Mathematical possibility. Players would have to probably DNF, and Scotty would have to win this to grab those final points to secure P2. And there's a bit of a tighter field, a tighter pack a bit further down the field. Down there you can see that very tight with those last couple of points. But that's enough of that, and let's have a look at what's going on here around the track. Got a couple of drivers out already, nice and close to each other there. The Red Bull of Goodwill and Ola and Fire Sky, who is out on the medium tyre. So that'll be a bit interesting. I think it's going to be pretty tight quali here. These guys now all had a full season behind them, and they're going to be right on it straight away. And I don't know what you guys think of this track. You can let me know in the comments below. Obviously, it's a bit of a divisive track, I would say, for people. Some people love it, some people absolutely hate it. I don't mind it too much, but it's definitely not one of my favourites, I would say. All the cars starting to come out now, majority on the soft tyre, a few guys on the medium tyres. We'll see if they think they can go through on that tyre there. Ola and Fire Sky are going to be coming around here. The first guy to set a lap, so we'll stick on board with him in the Williams. He's been he is a reserve, and so he's been not going to be too bad around here. So yeah, we'll just stick on board with this down into T1. Hot on the brakes around the first corner, just manages to keep it in track limits, and flat out through this S section now, rounding off the end of the first sector. Now this is the old layout, and this is going to be the last time we're going to see it in the old layout, as of course the guys at the moment are racing with the shortened version of this track round the hairpin of turn 7, and making sure he gets a nice, good, strong exit onto this first DRS straight. With the letterbox wide open here, he's got no traffic really ahead of him. He's going to have a nice clean run here, and making sure to spot his braking point down at the 100-meter board. Gets the apex nicely hooked up there. Good change of direction on the traction. Nicely bit of short shifting there to dull the wheel spin, and heading down the second straight down to turn 11, where again last time we'll be seeing this section that we had someone go off in sector 1, one of the Mercedes. Oh, it must have been on the pit exit. Avalanche's gone off there. We'll just have a quick look. He's been disqualified for... yeah, that's a shame for him there. His quali is done, and now we're going to go into this tricky section here, down into turn 17. Very tricky braking point. Gets that hooked up nicely, and through this last section of the hotel, underneath the bridge, which will look amazing later on as the sun goes down. Last couple of corners now. Make sure to keep it within the track limits, as he does. Final corner down into 4th gear, gets a nice clean exit, yellow flags there but no one in the way, and sets a time of 37.9. Let's change that to the fastest lap here, with Shockwave already putting in on the soft tyre. Is he missing a front wing? No. Shockwave there with a provisional pole at the moment. There's plenty of time still yet to come in, but he's done a 37.7 on that soft tyre. Lots of cars coming around here. Dan the Racer also there putting a tyre in at 39.1. G-Force Zach JW there putting in a 35.4. And that's quite a big gap at the minute. We've got our championship leader / winner here, Eye Contrast, coming around, but maybe let's have a look at Scotty is still on his, Plebs is on his outlap. He's also choosing on the medium tyre. It's going to be a pretty close battle between these two guys here. He's just pootling around at the moment in the second sector. We got a couple of close battles between Rip the Beans and Snickers, but who's here? Rip the Beans is, but Snickers is not. Who else have we got close battles with going on at the moment? My Name is Jeff and the Rip the Beans are our closest battle, and they're coming out. They're separated by only 6 points between these two guys. He's actually just come in there. Let's fall on board. Dan the Racer's got an invalidation. Who else? Let's just stick on board with Plebs and see how he goes on the medium tyre around here. Most people again choosing on the soft tyre there. Eye Contrast putting the car in second place neatly with just less than a tenth off the current pole. Plebs coming round to start his lap now, heading down to fourth gear around the first corner. Keep it nice and smooth through it. Try not to put too much angle in the steering lock, because exactly that will happen. You've got to keep that nice and smooth around there. The sort of rear gets a bit light and a bit tricky on the grip as the downforce piles on. It's very easy to add. Another Williams going around just in front of him as well. Obviously a bit of a panic as he goes round there. There's Williams going round and round and round in circles. Oh, there's a couple of cars coming through as well. Who is that coming through that sector? Combat Wombat. Luckily he was on his outlap there. And they all get going again without any issues further on this lap. So he's going to want to just reset himself and go again as Plebs. Not an ideal way to start off his qualifying session. Who else have we got going on a lap here at the moment? Dan the Racer's having a go again on those soft tyres. He's got a bit of work to do here, a little bit off pace. Can someone invite you? Have you messaged the Spilly? Have you messaged the Discord? Maybe message the Discord and see if anybody is there to do that. See if Plebs will send you. Are you registered on this one, or are you just hoping to grab a spot in here? Are you down as a reserve, Mr. Spilly? Good luck to Combat Wombat from the Broke Vegan. He's on an invalidated on his outlap at the moment, so let's stick on board with him. So we can have a look how he goes here on his first flying lap on the soft tyre. In the Haas's Combat Wombat with that nice blue helmet there. Come around the first corner, right, and he's invalidated straight away on that outside curb, unfortunately for him. He's still going strong though. I wonder if our graphic is correct, or if he's noticed that he's invalidated this lap. Sector 3, we've got a yellow flag. Alex Pater there. He's missing a front wing also. But he has got he's sitting in P3 at the moment, which is pretty decent by him. So take it nice and easy here. Make sure he doesn't hit that pit wall. Go back and have a look at Combat Wombat. It still says he's invalidated, so it's a bit odd. I wonder if that's correct. A couple of yellow flags in Sector 2. Alpha Tauri there. My Name is Jeff, just currently on a flying lap, and just to remind you, he is battling for that P around. He's sitting in P11 on the standings, and his closest rival there, the Tinsel Man and Rip the Beans. You're not a reserve. Yeah, so Spilly So yeah, if you want to do an evaluation in the Discord and sign yourself up, we are on the last race, unfortunately. But generally, we don't accept the late joiners in our lobbies, as Roscoe there correctly points out. That does tend to screw the lobby up, and it runs into all sorts of issues. This game, just a bit of a mess. We're just rounding the end of season 5, so of course I would sign up there for the season 6 and get a spot in for the future when we'll be starting that next year. My name is Jeff there, sitting his time of a 37.2 there on his lap there. Not too bad, putting him in P8. Good job for him. Pleb's still trying to set a lap by the looks of it. He's on his second flyer. Used up quite a lot of that battery already. Hopefully we'll make it all the way around on that battery. Shouldn't have any traffic as well, bar any... Yeah, and oh, there's another yellow flag there as another... What's that? Williams gone off there of Ola and Fire Sky in the first sector. There's a lot of that first couple of corners there, catching quite a few people out. Obviously people have been trying to strip off that downforce to get as much time as they can on the straights, and it can get a bit tricky there if you're running those lower wings. And also you really have to choose how much downforce you're going to strip off on this track, because this final sector, very tricky to get right, and a very high downforce sort of section. You really got to get the car turned into all these apexes, very tricky. And right up against the wall there does Plevs go. Round and coming the last couple of corners, keeps it just in track limits there. Nicely done rounding the final corner. Where will this put him? And he puts it in P6 on the medium tyre, the only one so far on the medium tyres in the top 10. And he's done a very good job. That's a very, very decent lap there, 36.7. And it's going to be interesting to see how many more people get popping in the lap times here, because he'll be wanting to start on that medium tyre. And that will certainly help him out compared to everyone else starting on the soft tyre there, because that soft tyre does not last very long around here. With the Beans with 35.9 there, putting in P5, pushing the other guys down a spot. My name is Jeff is going to want to try and just squeeze into that top 10. Whoa, and there goes Rip the Beans round. Manages it just to keep it out of the wall. Again in that same spot. These guys are going to have to really watch it now in the race, because it's going to be seems to be very catching a lot of people out in this section, and they're going to have to keep it very clean in this race, this endurance race. Many laps. Very easy to have seen another person just go out around there. What's going on? There's a very slow moving Aston Martin off the track. Maybe he's just keeping out of the way. Hopefully he's not going too slow, otherwise the game might start giving him a bit of an odd place to stop, and off he goes. No more traffic for him. Very, very conscientious, letting everyone go past out of the way. We love to see that. Don't like to see the impeding. Everyone having set a lap so far, apart from Goodwill, who's sitting in the pits, and Combat Wombat, who looks like he's finally got going there on here. Almost the rear end getting very light coming around that corner, flying down now into this little chicane before he comes through onto the hairpin for the straight. So important to get a good exit out of this hairpin here, as you're going to carry that speed all the way down the straight, maximizing the speed as much as possible, and that will reward you in the timing sheets. So as he comes flying down here, no real cars ahead of him, there's no traffic, braking around the 100-meter board there, gets the apex hooked up nicely, down all the way down in first gear. Decent traction coming out of there, a little bit of sideways action, but very minor. Now coming down the second straight, down into turn 11, and we'll watch this turn 11 little section now, because that is going to be disappearing, hopefully, after the next game. And let me know your thoughts in the chat of what you think about the track changes here. I mean, I did enjoy that fast little section there, but I'm sure the higher speed long corner there that they've got now will improve the racing a little bit, because it was pretty much impossible to follow or overtake or make a move in any of those bits. They have opened up a few of these last corners as well to try and improve the speed through there. So we see yellow flag in Sector 1 that's just behind. Combat Wombat across the line, making P14 just behind My Name is Jeff. Very, very close around that part of the timing board there. From P11 to P14, just a couple of tenths separating those guys. And Zach at the top there, still holding that P1 position. Who else is on a lap here? We've got Codstar in the Aston Martin going around. Dan the Racer and Olerin Firesky, who has just invalidated. And finally we see... Spilly, you're in the game. Whoa! There we go. Look and you shall receive. Alright, well you got some moves to pull here. Not long left now in qualifying. Gonna get that lap time in. And Olerin Firesky looks like he's gone round in the last corner. Let's see if we can catch that. Where is he gone round? In the pit lane. That's not ideal. Oh dear, that's not good. Oh, he's just luckily ghosted there. Ooh, must have hit that wall. That's unlucky for him with only a few minutes left now into qualifying. Spilly on his lap now, outlap, sorry. Goodwill's we'll follow on board with Goodwill having a little bit of a lift through that section, and we'll keep a close eye on Spilly as well to see how he goes in these last couple of minutes of qualifying. Coming around the hairpin now, a little bit wide through here. Tries to get on the power as early as possible, and heading down the main straight now. A couple of cars behind. There is another Red Bull there. He's on his outlap. I was just wondering if they were going to be doing a bit of tow action there, but not. There's another slow-moving Aston Martin in Sector 2, but we'll just keep on board with Goodwill as he's coming around the Sector 2 part of the track now. Down the Racer also retiring. Is that in the pit lane? I guess yes. And there, Goodwill setting a purple middle sector there, so he's flying through here. Let's see how he goes in this last section now. Maybe he's trimmed off a bit of that downforce to help through the straights. And not much changing of the timing sheets at the top as of yet, as we enter 1 minute left of this qualifying session now. Bit of a yellow flag which has been cleared through here. Ooh, a little bit of lag there. There's plenty of room on the outside of the wall there. How will he do coming around these last couple of corners? And unfortunately has invalidated on the second to last corner. That is, hopefully he's got enough fuel to go again. That's not been ideal for him right on the... He's probably got enough ERS to go again now, so hopefully he can get another lap in, because that seemed like it was going to be a pretty quick lap. Has Spilly going on his lap also. Yellow flag, but that looks like it's cleared ahead. Comes around the final couple of corners. Will he keep it clean around here? That's a terrible thing to invalidate in the last couple of corners. You're really just keeping it within track limits. Nicely done. Just using as much of the track as possible is Spilly, and that gives him P11 with 36.6. Let's see if Goodwill can hook up a lap finally. He's not going to give a tow down to the car, the Red Bull behind. Link's there finishing off his qualifying with 36.6. Very, very close in that midsection from P10 down to P13 there. A couple of tenths. Plevs having to go out in the soft tyres. That McLaren gone round of Crazy Kiwi. He's got going again. And Alex Pato also out. Plevs really needing to set a good time in here as he abandoned the mediums there. Just wasn't going to be quick enough for the top 10. And we're going to be watching him now. Alex Pato there has stopped on that side of the track in that Ferrari. Last couple of corners now for Plagues. Absolutely crucial, and he just over-commits around that last section onto the curb and straight into the wall. That is going to be disappointing for him in that championship fight. That is really going to cost him now, with Scotty sitting up there in P3. Real big shame. And is that going to impact anybody else? Hopefully not. They're just going to have to avoid him coming around the last couple of corners. Not ideal for those guys. Goodwill not managing to put a lap in and keeping in P18th. And who else have we got coming around here? Scotty's on a also lap as well. No, he's abandoned into the pit lane, leaving Crazy Kiwi also to finish off this qualifying session. He's sitting in P9, not too bad, not too bad. Just pushing around these last couple of corners. Important to keep it clean and not to stack it around these last couple of corners. Oh, that was right on the air, and he's pulling into the pit lane anyway. And that's it for your qualifying session here today. And we see Zach JW putting it into P1 with eye contrast, just a 10th behind him in P2. And big story of that is Plevs going around in the last couple of corners, just on that curb and into the wall. He's going to have a hard afternoon now to fight back from that lower position and challenge for that P2 position in the championship. Here's a little roundup here of what we have going on here. I'll just what I'll do is while we're doing this, I'll flick the standings back on for you guys so you can have just another quick gander at what's going on here, and I'll give you a little read through of the constructors also. It's quite close to the top between Aston Martin and AlphaTauri, yet to be decided, only 10 points separating the two, so all to play for still in the constructors. Williams looks like they've got P3 sorted, and then as you head down to P4, 5 and 6, only 15 points separating Ferrari, Alpine and McLaren. So definitely still time to fight for the constructors. And the drivers, yeah, that midfield very close at the there with so many drivers we have at the moment with all these reserves too. But yeah, story is the front of the pack there with Plevs crashing out before he could finish that soft tyre lap. Right. We're coming into now the race of our final round in the Endurance League in the Pacific region. Thank you guys for all tuning in. And yeah, I've been pretty busy around in this last, I'm sure you guys will sympathize around this Christmas section part of the year. It's got really, yeah, it's been a bit hectic. Been a bit out of the loop, and unfortunately had to miss a bunch of Saturdays. But I'm glad to be here for the final session of this season, and we have got a long hard race ahead of us here. We've already seen drivers making mistakes going through that first S section in the first sector there, going up the hill, and it's going to be important to keep that clean, especially with the heavier fuel going around there. It'll be very tricky as we see the drivers get away. Let's put some tyre details on there so we can see what is happening. All the top 10 there. Starting on the soft tyre, we've got Zach JW in P1, eye contrast in P2, Scotty in the AlphaTauri in P3, and he's finding the championship at the moment with Plevs. Rip the Beans in the McLaren, also on the soft tyre in P4, Alex Pato in the Ferrari today in P5, Twitch Liddy in the Alfa Romeo down in P6, and Codstar in P7 in the Aston Martin. My name is Jeff in 8th, Crazy Kiwi in 9th, and Shockwave rounding off your top 10 in the Red Bull. Combat Wombat, the first of our drivers outside the top 10 to start on the medium tyre. I'm clueless in 100% races. Do people normally one stop or two stop? Well, we've had a very high incident of safety cars here, so I'd probably say it's going to be more than two stops, but usually two stop. I mean, you'd expect to be a two stop around this track, so soft medium, medium. It'd be pretty hard to get through on a soft hard, I would say, but safety cars always throwing all kinds of things up in the air. Spilly on the choosing to go on that soft tyre in P12. We'll have to keep an eye on him, watching him have an aggressive start on that and seeing if he can make some positions. Want to get past Combat Wombat, I'm sure, on the mediums. Lynx also on the mediums. Plebs choosing to go on the mediums. Honest Crook down in P15 on the mediums too. Dan the Racer, who's also on the mediums. Ola in Fire Sky, he's going to be going aggressive on those soft tyres also, so that is definitely someone to keep an eye on the start. He's going to be hot around those medium guys. Goodwill on the mediums, and Avalanche, the only one choosing to go onto the hard tyre, so we'll have to keep an eye and see if that plays out, that strategy for him there. Be interesting going along on that hard tyre as the drivers come round the grid for the final time this season. and lining up into their spots of short run down to T1. So not this gonna hopefully we can make it clean through here. There's unlike I said before, so many incidences of safety cars going out through the race, so with the walls around and the nature of this track, I'm sure we'll see a few safety cars, but it's all about that consistency, just keeping clean, and I'm sure you can make it to the end there for a good result. Okay, I have lights, but I can hear lights, but I can't see lights. And off they go, down into T1. They're getting a pretty clean start, pretty clean getaway. A couple of drivers moving down to the inside through here. And it all seems very clean down turn 1. Zach there losing the position through turn 1 wide as Eye Contrast nabs it off him. Alex Pater also having a decent start through here. I should change this to positions, and they're having a little look also down into the chicane, but Alex Pater manages, and he makes a quick move to Scotty down to the inside. Can he make it stick? Not quite. Alex Pater just getting a little bit better traction as already the cars in front there getting away from these guys. Codstar very close to the back as they're all going to try and get a slipstream down to the next braking point. Anybody having a look for a move? Not Scotty, not quite close enough. There's another AlphaTauri there a few places back, and My Name is Jeff trying to look for a move on Spilly. Doesn't quite manage to get it off, but he's got a Williams of Plevs making a nice move down the inside there, and Dan the Racer also falling through on the medium tyre. And these guys are going to go side by side now into this next section. And Plev's just managing. Oh, Dan the Racer trying to go around the outside. Doesn't quite work out through. Very tricky to go through there. And Jeff also losing another position on Crazy Kiwi. They've had a good start. Where's Ola and Fire Sky? He's not had a great start on that soft tyre. Spilly having a great start on the soft tyre. That has done him well as he's got past those medium runners. Plev's also making up quite a few positions on that start. We see a little battle going on here. My Name is Jeff just dropping down the order. Not sure if he's got damage or anything from the start, but he's not having a great time through there. Does he have damage? It doesn't look like it. He's just not got that pace on the soft tyre. He's dropping another position there. Eye Contrast setting the fastest lap and taking P1 from the start. So these guys all still pretty close together. He's going to want to... Zach is just going to try and keep up with Eye Contrast. He's not going to want to let him get away, trying to keep in that DRS range, because all the other guys are right behind him and they are going to follow him through there. Okay, what else have we got going on here? We've got Spilly right on the back of Twitch Liddy in the Alfa Romeo. Look at him go. Look, he's going to try and deploy the ERS and get past this. It's crucial to make as many moves as you can as soon as possible, I think, on here. On his crook, also right in the back of My Name is Jeff, who's dropped even further back down the order. I'm not sure what's going on with him. Twitch Liddy having a fight with Codstar, doesn't quite make the... just backs out of that there as we see a couple of drivers side by side. This is going to be 3 wide down here. Not quite, but Codstar hasn't worked out for him there. He's just lost another position as Spilly goes through down on the inside after that. DRS not active yet, but will be activated in the next lap as we wait for a couple of a bit sideways on that exit there. Is he going to try and look for a move down here? Not quite. Decides better of it. Bit risky to go for a move down here. You're going to have a very compliant opponent here to get through there. Chooses to just play it safe and wait for it's a long race. Play it safe, wait for a decent DRS overtaking spot, as here we have our first penalty so far of the race with Crazy Kiwi on lap 3. They're going to want to try and avoid as many penalties as possible, as the front guys have now settled into a bit of a half-second gap, and Spilly there having a look again right up onto the gearbox of Twitch Liddy, almost pushing him along through the first section. As we see, Alpine has gone round in the foreground of Zach. That is not ideal for him. That's, yeah, he was right up there from P1 all the way. And also a car, Dan the Racer, has gone round. What's happened here? He's gone round on that same section, and that's a short afternoon for Dan the Racer. Unfortunately, he's out. As you see a bunch of... Yes, My Name is Jeff having a wing change there. So obviously he did take some damage. It's a long race. Not all is lost on the first lap unless you are Dan the Racer there. Unfortunately, our first DNF, and there's a bit of a train going on here around here with for the battle for P4. right on the back is Twitch Liddy, and he's trying to make a move down there. Also, Codstar, look at the difference in the speed from the slipstream. Wow, you got to really tuck in a bit of an audacious move. Almost pulls it off. Almost. That would have been an excellent move if he pulled that one off. But he settles in the back of Spilly. So I think we're going to see a lot of this jockeying for position now, with nobody in front to pull Spilly, Twitch Liddy along. There's going to be a lot of position switching for these guys. At the front there, that gap has now opened up to 2 seconds from eye contrast to Scotty. And unfortunately, Zach is going to have to battle his way through the pack again. This is excellent news for Scotty for his championship battle. Bit of a gap opened here now from Codstar. Rid the Beans. Oh, he's gone a bit wide, has Codstar, and it's allowed Rid the Beans straight through. Plebs is going to have a look as well. Is he going to... Yes, he's gone down the inside. Codstar just opening the door there, and Plebs has just taken that ajar door and grabbed that move off, grabbed that place off him. It looks like he's struggling a little bit as Codstar. Just seemed to... oh, we've got a safety car. Why do we have a safety car? Avalanche? Yeah, Avalanche round right at the end of the track. I can't get to that, unfortunately, to see it. That's a safety car already. Now, what are these guys going to do? I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of the soft runners coming in now for a change of tyres. It's going to play into the hands of the medium runners, who I'm sure won't want to pit. And I would have said it would play into the hands of the hard runner, but Plebs there trying to burn as much fuel as possible. And unfortunately, Avalanche, our second retiree of the evening before lap 5. So he can go and put his feet up now. And yeah, a bit of a hectic start. You could already see those DRS trains beginning as the pack sort of spread itself out. And it's going to be, you've got to be a little bit tactical where you make the moves, as you don't want to get past through that first DRS straight, because otherwise if you get past there, it's very likely you just get re-overtaken down the second straight. So maybe a bit better to bide your time through that section. So just the race here, early safety car neutralizing the race for now as we take a quick breather. It's allowed Jeff from his wing damage to catch back up, so that's good news for him. Yeah, and we see Scotty diving into the pits. Eye contrast also in the pits. Alex Peder in the pits too, and unsurprisingly, all the softer. Oh no, Twitch Liddy choosing not to come into the pits along with Spilly. Everyone else choosing to pit in, so they'll get promoted up to maybe that might have been the wrong call. These soft tyres do not last very long on this track, so we'll see how that plays out, but obviously all the medium runners sticking in. Zach there also choosing to stay out. He's going to try and regain some positions after that poor start and him going round in that first section. I said that was going to be a bit tricky around there, and it's already caught out 2 people down the racer going around there, and also Zach who went around in that bit. Now they line up behind the Aston Martin safety car, the lovely green British Racing green Aston Martin. Oh, apparently I've just been informed by the chat that Codstar wasn't struggling. He was just saving his tyre. He has gone onto the medium tyre though. Ah, Spilly, you're listening. Well, I don't know. It's up to you. It depends how bad your tyres are. I would have thought that the soft tyre is not going to last too long. We'll see. We'll see. This could not necessarily a bad idea of staying out. Plus, safety cars often tend to breed more safety cars. So, as this bunch the pack back up again, there could be a bit more chaos coming in through here. I just want to try and keep it as clean as possible. But yeah, safety cars often breed more safety cars. So, but it has allowed my name is Jeff there. He's just slowly catching up to the pack here. Codstar there choosing to go on the medium tyre. If he was struggling, he's not going to be struggling anymore. So yeah, so all those guys there just getting off that soft tyre and choosing to go longer on the medium tyre. I wonder how many laps of this safety car we're going to get. Hopefully it maybe one more lap, as Jeff is almost on the back of the pack now. I don't think it'll be, it's not going to be coming in this lap. It'll most likely be one more lap now. Shouldn't have an issue with tyre temperatures keeping them up to temperature on this track in the desert. It's quite warm. 10%. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Good to know. 10%. So he's not too bad. So yeah, maybe that was a great call. We will find out. If a couple of free positions there. And yes, we're going to have Zach JW behind you, and he was I'm sure he put it on pole for a reason. Very rapid is he, and there's going to be, and then also Goodwill really getting a good gain of positions from that safety car. He was down in P18, I believe. Yeah, he's gained 14 positions from that safety car, so that's worked out excellently for him. Also Spilly, 10 positions gained, so that's been great for him. A lot of high position gains for those guys. My name is Jeff, being unfortunately the big loser from that start that we had, but luckily the safety car for him has allowed him to keep in touch with everyone. Oh, and Goodwill almost into the back of Zach there, down into the braking zone. I held my breath for a moment there. It didn't look like he was going to stop. I was lucky to not make contact there. Far too close. Luckily we get away with that one. It was a bit scary down there. Yes, they're all taking it nice and easy on this safety car. Don't want to take too much life out of the tyres. Didn't really see many people weaving around, as mentioned before, with the temperatures obviously not getting that cold. So I'm sure the safety car will be coming in this lap. We'll find out the confirmation any second now, I'm sure. Not yet. I would have thought it would have been announced. Maybe they're going to go another lap then. We're going to have plenty of fuel now. No fuel saving necessary, as the safety car would have helped all that. So yeah, it's going to do another lap, I believe. No, it's coming in. Okay, my graphic is not telling me that it's coming in. That's how handy is that. Okay, so it's going to be on Twitch Liddy for the restart. And off he goes. Off he goes. He's getting a good exit out of there. The gaps open up nicely. Goodwill right on the back of Zach on those medium tyres. And a couple of cars side by side. Honest Crop and Combat Wombat through the first section. Got to be careful on that curb. I Contrast trying to make advantage of this little battle here. Can he get past Combat Wombat into the braking zone? He goes for the move on the outside, and which turns into the inside and gets past Combat Wombat straight away, getting the moves done as soon as possible. Scotty trying to follow around the outside of the hairpin, also manages to get, that's very important to get those moves done as soon as possible. We see position changes, or Combat Wombat dropping back quite a few positions there. Plaves is going to be looking on that soft tyre to try and make also moves through here. Soft tyre. It's interesting. Plaves just went for some fresh. He's going to go for that aggressive strategy. He's trying to make as many positions as possible. We see a couple of positions change around the back here. Jeff getting past Shockwave, who's slow moving there. Crazy Kiwi also looking for a move on Aura and Fire Sky down the inside. He gets the car nicely slowed down and gets the move done through there. Who said overtaking was hard around Abu Dhabi? I don't know who that was, but we're seeing plenty of moves being made here. The positions at the front there unchanged so far through this section, and yeah, the car's following very closely through the hotel section. There are all the gaps there, very, very close, and we're just starting to see a little bit of a gap opening up at the front here, with Goodwill not quite having the pace to keep up, him being the first of the medium tyres. The soft runners were going to want to take advantage and try and build that gap as much as possible for their pit stops. And he's already dropped out of the DRS range, has Goodwill, from Zach JW. Spilly there right on the back of Twitch Liddy again, resuming where he finished, trying to push him along. I've just noticed he's rocking the no helmet look. Is Spilly there, the balaclava look, and as we commented earlier this season, we're pretty sure that gives you a nice advantage. Honest Crook has gone round, trying to find it but failing. My name is Jeff in the pits as well. He's gone round in that hairpin there, some more virtual safety car. And yeah, missed that one unfortunately. That sort of negated the race at the front, giving the guys a bit of a breather. Also allowed the guys in the pit stop to minimise their time loss. But I'm not sure what happened at the back here. Shockwave and Jeff again clashing. And they've pitted onto some fresh tyres. Shockwave going for the soft and Jeff going for the medium tyres. So there's going to be... It's going to have his work cut out for him, is Jeff, with the Shockwave on the soft tyres behind him. As we're just waiting for this virtual safety car to finish. Spilly once again all over the back of Twitch Liddy. And off they go. Unfortunately, Goodwill picking up a... He's picked up quite a few penalties there. Drive through for speeding under the VSC. And for... Oh, that's not good for him. And yeah, so this racing has resumed now, and Spilly wanting to continue putting the current race leader, Twitch Liddy, under pressure as much as possible. DRS has been enabled. Lynx heads into the pits now on the medium tyre. We'll just stick on board with these three at the front here. Yes, I would agree with you, Buster. I don't think you can say those softs too hard, but let's see what these guys can do with these softs. Once again, we get that lovely camera angle there, Spilly rocking the no helmet look, and we're pretty sure this gives you a good straight line advantage, and just reducing some of the weight from that helmet. So he's going to have DRS going down the straight now, and we'll see what Spilly chooses to do. He does have the pressure from the cars behind. And they're not going to be quite close enough. Spilly just choosing to sit behind. Not quite quick enough to get past Twitch Liddy, but really here, this is where the overtakes are going to get done. He gets a nice exit coming out of the chicane, right onto the back. Twitch Liddy goes to the outside, Spilly down the inside. I think this is going to be pretty easily done with DRS. Yep, and passed him before the braking point, also setting a purple sector through there. Codstar left the session. Hopefully he can get reconnected there. Hopefully it's just a disconnect. Shockwave and Jeff fighting at the back here. Let's not ignore these guys fighting. Look at these guys. Bit of trying to break the slipstream is Shockwave, and he did get past him before this, so I would say that Jeff is now going to have to try and re-overtake with the DRS. He's not going to have quite enough traction on that soft medium tyre compared to the soft tyre. Zach right up on Twitch Liddy now. Rid the Beans picking him up. He comes into the pits, does Twitch Liddy, so that hasn't been ideal with that. Pitting Spilly. Still got pace on that soft tyre. Eye contrast also setting the fastest lap just after him, only a couple of tenths quicker. So he's still got the pace on soft tyre. Twitch Liddy not feeling like he does either coming into the pit lane. And again, Zach goes around in that same spot. So tricky. Oh, this car's coming around here. Just managed to get turned around. Luckily, did not touch the wall and gets the car going again. He's not having a good time around that section. And luckily, Honest Crooks, yep. Luckily, that is no longer going to be part of the track there, so you won't have to worry about that next year. But yeah, not having a bit of drama going around there. Alex Pater having a look at Plevs making the move on Goodwill. Oh, he's just misjudged that braking point as Alex and gone right into the back of Goodwill. Bit too hot on the brakes, and I'm pretty sure that's a bit of wing damage. Yeah, he's knocked off that right end plate. That is going to cost him, especially. And Plevs there just ahead looking for another move on Scotty. Plevs getting passed on the soft tyre. So that soft tyre, that aggressive strategy has worked out for him in the short run. And getting the position on Scotty there. Spilly holding his own at the front there. Yeah, Alex Pater struggling. He's going to really struggle around this last section now to get the car turned in. I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to cut into the pits straight away, because that is just going to cost him more and more time. As we see a yellow flag, Sector 3, and there's a Haas that's gone round. Where is it? Where is it? It's coming back on the track, so he should be okay. Combat Wombat there. Has he got any damage? Just avoiding the cars. I think he's looking okay. He's just gone off. No damage to him. Alex Pato coming into the pits for a fresh wing change there. Scotty right on the back of Plevs. Not going to want to let him get away. Plevs is going to need quite a bit of an advantage to grab that position off him on the table. So as long as Scotty can keep it in touch with him, he's on for a good finish, just keeping it clean. See a few cars coming into the pits now. Zach also coming on for those fresh medium tyres. I think those soft tyres were done after that spin. Twitch Liddy on the fresh mediums having a look for a move on links. Not quite close enough through there, but I'm sure as the DRS, as we see, who's that in the Alpha going, not moving. That's, my name is Jeff, coming around the last corner very slowly, very gingerly. What's happening here? Yes, Shockwave right in the back of Combat Wombat. A couple of position changes you see going here, and that's Twitch Liddy getting past Lynx into on the first straight. Lynx is going to get the DRS now coming through the second half, so hopefully he's going to want to hope that he's got an advantage. Yes, he has got to manage to get away through there. Scotty right on the heels of Plebs, not getting away. And he's done well to keep up with him as we see the battle for P1 there. Our contrast also right on the back of Spilly. But those soft tyres I'm sure will be starting to give way a little bit, and the medium tyre advantage will be coming through now. Around the last corner. And yeah, it's going to just keep it within a second. Eye contrast right on the back of Spilly now. Coming through here, must be struggling on those soft tyres. Very tricky around this S section. You can see even on eye contrast there under the dirty egg, getting a little bit light on the rear of the car. Very aggressive down to the braking zone, and it's going to be very difficult, I think, now for Spilly to hold onto this position. When he's got the DRS eye contrast, even trying to look for the move even before the DRS there around the inside of the hairpin. Eye contrast goes to the inside. I think he's trying to stay behind him, so he's got the DRS. Tactical move there. Didn't want to overtake him before the line, and Plebs holding on to P3. Someone's gone round in sector 1 again. I think that's the Combat Wombat out of the race. Is another one claimed by Twitch. Spilly there holding the inside. Sorry, it's a safety car there. That's why we've slowed down. That just saved Spilly there, that safety car, and I'm sure Plebs would have had him, Eye Contrast would have had him down that straight there, but there's a bit of tactical play there. Eye Contrast not wanting to get past before the DRS zone, so yep, very much a bit of tactics there. And I wonder how his tyres are holding up at the front there on those 11 lap old tyres. Scotty also, sure if we'll see too many people coming into the pits now. Most people on fairly fresh tyres apart from those soft runners. It'll be interesting to see what Spilly chooses to do, and he has come in. He's coming to get rid of those soft tyres under the safety car and try and make good use of everyone going around slowly. He's going to drop quite a few positions, no doubt, as the field is not too spread out at this stage because of the previous safety car. Onto that medium tyre he goes. Oler and Fire Sky also on those old soft tyres. He's coming into the pit lane. Yeah, the softs are not great, are they? Around this track, they're good for about a couple of laps of pure pace, and then they just go off and off. But he did a good job there, holding on to that lead there on those soft tyres. He's got a wing change as Oler and Fire Sky too, for some previous picked up damage. And yeah, so we have now lost 4 drivers there. Dan the Racer, Avalanche, Honest Crook, and Combat Wombat, unfortunately, out of this race. But it does once again allow those drivers who've had incidents and fallen down to catch back up and resume the racing. Spilly there gained a good chunk of time from pitting under the safety car. He's Twitch Liddy having dropped a few positions from that. Yeah, so we've still got Plebs on those old soft tyres. It's probably a bit too late to come in the pits now without losing too many positions. I'm not sure what he's going to do. I guess he's going to try and go long and hope for something to happen, another calamity. But that first section there through turns 2, 3 and 4, claiming quite a few drivers already, and we are only about a quarter of the way through the race now, so still a long way to go. And as the sunlight starts to fade around this track, entering the twilight zone, as the lights from the huge light poles are starting to come into effect around this track, and the lighting will begin to change as we enter the nighttime part of this race. I think it looks great under nighttime. I think this game does look very nice under those sort of evening and nighttime sort of times. But yeah, these guys, Zach there, down in P10. He's not had a great race so far. There's a couple of mistakes. I guess it could be worse, but yeah, he's going to try and regain some positions on this restart. Let's have a look at the penalties that we have going on here whilst we're having a look. There's only 3 drivers with penalties, and they're only 3 seconds, so everyone's doing a pretty good job of keeping it clean. So that's good to see, as yeah, we do, just of the sheer longevity of these races, do tend to pick up a lot of penalties throughout the course of the race. Obviously it's still early days yet, but if you can keep it penalty free, and as we've seen lots of times, we usually get that safety car at the end of the race as a bit of fatigue starts to creep in. Then those penalties can really make a difference when the pack's bunched up at the end. I think I'd put some money on there being a late safety car, as that's happened most of the time. So that's something just to think about for these guys as well. The chances of that are fairly high. And the safety car, race control telling me the safety car is in this lap. So we'll prepare to resume racing. Oh, now these guys are going on warm-up of their tyres. Doesn't look like there's too much weaving going on. And I'm sure Plebs will want to make a quick move on eye contrast and get past him on that soft tyre. He's not going to want to hang around, because that medium tyre will definitely start coming into its own now against that soft tyres. It's reaching the end of its cycle. Notice their shockwave on some fresh soft tyres at the back there. Ola and Fire Sky and Lynx also on fresh tyres, along with Spilly on those mediums. Boys are back in town. Yes. Yes, Ferrari Pro. So here we go, eye contrast backing the pack up through the last corner. And he's got away there nicely. Plev's not quite getting away as nicely. And Scotty just really keeping on the back of him as we just fall on the back through this S section. And we've got Rid the Beans there right on the back of the Red Bull of Goodwill. After this restart, he's going to look for a move down here. Yes, he does. He has a look, gets down the inside. He's just keeping his nose, his Goodwill. But Rid the Beans is going to have the inside down the hairpin, and he easily gets past as the other McLaren. Oh, just maybe overcooks it a little bit, and that's cost him. Crazy Kiwi dropping a few positions. He's going to have a very bad exit. Rid the Beans trying to break the slipstream heading down here. Moves once, moves twice, and holds the outside. Goodwill trying to look for the inside, and he sticks his nose in there. Manages to get it moved in, not quite, as Rid the Beans places his car very well through here, and now he's going to try and deploy all of his to hold on to this position. And it looks like he's just going to be just far enough ahead now of that Red Bull. Also, Codstar looking for a Crazy Kiwi getting past Codstar there onto the second part as Shockwave picks up a 3-second penalty. You also see Spilly right on the back of that Red Bull. He has not had a good restart, has Goodwill this time. And Twitch Liddy also right in the back of Codstar as he makes a move down into that section. Wow, that would have been a good one to miss to see. Unfortunately, I was watching this battle here. Oh, right close to the wall is Spilly there. Takes that. And yeah, just not quite close enough through here, this section. See another couple of position changes. Alex Pato moving up through the pack there. And they got away relatively safely there. Holding station at the front of the top 3. And but they're keeping it. They haven't really pulled away too much, but oh, Rid the Beans has gone round in that same section that is claimed. Oh no, and he's gone into the wall, and that's his day over. That has ripped the beans out. Oh, unfortunately, I wonder if that's going to bring out a virtual or a safety car. No, it doesn't seem like we're gonna keep the racing going, as we see this battle for 6 now. With let's actually have a look at Spilly, who's right alongside Goodwill and got past him on the straight even before the braking point, as such was the speed. He's got plenty of and he's misjudged that braking and got into the back of Spilly. Has Goodwill there. I'm not sure what happened there. That's certainly what it looked like. Crazy Kiwi also onto the back of Twitch Liddy. Just a couple of tenths here. There's a ferocious battle going for these lower top 10 positions for the mid. And yeah, they're just going to keep the status quo as they go through that section. But now when DRS gets enabled, I'm sure there'll be a few more. Look at these guys going side by side. Is Zach coming through this? Wow, trying to go for a move down there. That's impressive. Excuse me. Alex Pader also in this battle after his wing damage has brought him, but he's brought him back into play. All to fight for. Still, DRS enabled this lap, and Plebs has just dropped out. As we say that, Spilly there setting fastest lap of the race so far, but Plebs has dropped out of that DRS range, unfortunately for him, and it's going to leave him very, very vulnerable now to Scotty coming through the first sector. And yeah, I think Scotty's going to hold on to that position, hold on to that gap there, and yeah, Plebs will be in trouble coming down this straight. The gaps have now opened up also a bit lower down there, with Spilly now pulling the gap on Goodwill. So we'll see a bit of quite a few cars going for the move here. So we've got 5 cars: Goodwill, Twitch Lady, Crazy Kiwi, and Zach and Alex Pedo are going to be looking for this move now down into the after the first DRS straight into turn 8. And Twitch Lady goes for the move on Goodwill, gets past. And who's going to have a look also? The rest of the drivers not quite close enough, but Goodwill also having a look back at Twitch Liddy. Probably not going to be close enough to make a move here. Yeah, the pack's just separated out a little bit due to that DRS. Scotty hasn't got the move made yet on Plevs yet, still sitting behind him. And it's allowing Spilly to catch up and decrease that gap. I think the boys are battling a little bit at the front there, but Spilly does have that advantage of the fresher tyre to help him through there. Once again, Zach very close through that last bit of this start of sector 3 there. And yeah, they're very following each other very close. Oh, he gets a much better exit, does Zach there on Crazy Kiwi, but it's just going to be very difficult to overtake around this section. Alex Pedo, it'll be very interesting to watch this battle as these guys are just so close to each other. Twitch Liddy has managed to escape this, pulled out 1.5 second gap on Goodwill. Spilly closing up to the back of Scotty. Let's flick over to this. He's just jumping into this last little chicane. Look at Spilly go on those fresh tyres. We see Haas has gone around in that same section there. It looks like he's got it going again, and he's right on the back of Scotty is Spilly. They're both going to have DRS though coming down here. And is Spilly going to try and go for a double overtake on the straight? No, has a look, but not quite close enough. Scotty there keeping tabs on the back of the see some position changes behind. Goodwill dropping a whole bunch of positions there through that chicane. We'll just stick on here as Spilly's going to look to the outside of Plevs. Gets the move done well before the braking zone, and he is through. He has managed to do what Scotty just didn't quite manage to get through to get past through there. And Zach also making a move. Is going to... Oh, the Ferrari also has a little look, and he gets a little time penalty for cutting the corner. Oh, twice there. And that's not ideal, but yeah, he managed to get through it. And that's pushed KZ Kiwi offline through that sector. And almost allowed Goodwill through, but he retakes that position through here. As Ollerin has a little look into the braking zone through that section. But yeah, there's a lot of the gaps to separate a little bit from that move there. A bit of a clumsy move from Alex Pato, just getting over that curb to try and get past. Spilly there, absolutely flying on these tyres. And he's going to probably be looking at challenging Eye Contrast, I would say, just with a tyre gap between the two of them. Eye Contrast rocking the old 13 old medium tyres. Spilly only 5 laps old. Scotty still keeping up with his. Plebs has dropped off the back of Spilly now, so he won't have to look backwards anymore, only forwards. And Scotty's still trying to get past Plebs, but he's got no pressure for him, as that championship will still be safe where they finished. The gap's starting to open up a little bit. Also, the 1 second gaps after that initial safety car restart. We've got Jeff within half a second of Ola and Firesky, and we've got a new train now opening behind Alex Pato with Crazy Kiwi, Goodwill, Ola and Firesky. My name is Jeff there before we drop back into the 5 seconds of Shockwave. Not going to be quite close enough is Crazy Kiwi. Goodwill also not quite close enough. Ola and Firesky's just got to try and close that gap down to 1 second to make sure he stays in that DRS. Scotty has finally got past Plebs down that back straight. I think Plebs will be struggling on those medium tyres, soft tyres, and I wouldn't be surprised if he comes in imminently for a fresh set of tyres. All the cars still pretty bunched up from that safety car restart, so he's going to drop a few places yet. I feel he'll try and stretch that soft stint. And yeah, he chooses to stay out. He's within the DRS, so he could potentially use Scotty to pull him along a little bit on those fresher medium tyres. Spilly in the DRS now of eye contrast right on the back of him too. Let's have a look at that as they're coming around the hairpin now onto the straight of turn 7. So this first DRS section will enable him to just get up nice and close, but he's used a lot of errs to battle through the pack, whereas eye contrast has not really been battling too hard with anybody, and so it's going to be pretty difficult to get past, but he gets an excellent drive through that little chicane. The two drivers using up as much deployment as possible to try and hold the positions. Contrast holds the inside line there, and there's no way through for Spilly in this section, and he'll just have to be a little bit more patient through this sector here. It's going to be very difficult to make a move as they come through this section here. Twitch Liddy right, I do love that camera angle of that front wing. Unfortunately we lost that there. Right in the back of Zach, heading through the last part of the lap. Not going to be quite close enough here. Who else have we got? There's still this train here behind Alex Pato, who's now dropped right off the back of Twitch Liddy. And I'm sure that these guys, Crazy Kiwi will be wanting to get past here. Just have slightly older tyres, and Goodwill's there on the 19 old medium tyres. He's the longest, he's the driver who's been on the longest. I don't think he's pitted since right at the start. Been on those tyres the longest out of everyone else. And Kiwi just dropping off the DRS range, which is not ideal for him, as it's now going to put him under pressure from the drivers behind as he becomes the lead in that train. Yeah, he's just dropped out of the range there, and which this allows Goodwill to be the first person to overtake, attempt an overtake coming down the straight. We see also Plebs having a look at a re-overtake on Scotty. Not sure Goodwill's going to be close enough in this section here. Plebs right on the back of Scotty, actually getting past him. And Spilly also having, Plebs gets through. Spilly was also having a look, but he's not quite close enough there. But Plebs retaking P3 off Scotty on those old medium tyres, just showing that he's managed to keep pace on them after 15 laps, which no one else has managed to do. Spilly, right on the back of not quite managing to get past the contrast there. This group also having a good battle down for P8. As you see the rest of the gaps start to open up. We're starting to approach the halfway point of the race as well. And these guys racing now for a good around an hour now, and we're just going to try and keep their concentration levels up and going. Ola and Fire Sky. Just a couple of tenths behind Crazy Kiwi here. And the Goodwills there has dropped off the back of Alex Pato. Crazy Kiwi really wants to try and get past now. And he's been going a little bit backwards at the moment. Maybe he's starting to feel a bit of that tie wear as we see Spilly go for the move on eye contrast. And he gets it done from the first DRS zone, but this is going to allow eye contrast to try and retake this position, but I think he's got just enough of a gap to the difference in the speed though once he's finished deploying. Eye contrast not quite close enough there. Has a little look, tries to put him offline. But yeah, as soon as that Ferrari went into recharge mode there, the speed difference just became absolutely massive. Zach there picking up his first penalty of the race. Scotty past Plevs again. So there's a bit of a yo-yoing going on here. People are sort of re-overtaking, re-overtaking positions just every other lap. And luckily there's plenty of people doing that. It's not costing them too much time. Crazy Kiwi got past Goodwill on that lap. The gap is very close here. Again between these guys with Ola and Fire Sky and Jeff. Eye contrast already, the gap opened up to 1 second on Spilly. And that's going to be music to Spilly's ears if he can keep it out of DRS range from eye contrast. But he's just sort of nipped in there. I think that's going to be close enough now. He's just made it count there right at the end. Bit of a lift coming through this section for Goodwill. He's on those really old tyres, really struggling through that section now. And Plevs again going to be looking for a move on Scotty. I wouldn't be surprised. Eye contrast not going to be close enough through here, but he's not going to aim to overtake in this first section and just use the double DRS to catch up a lot more. That front of that car seems very high for eye contrast. Not sure if that's a visual glitch or actual ride height. That front wing very far off the ground. Oh, there, Spilly picking up his first penalty. It's not a huge drama yet, but that could make a difference in the end. It's very difficult in these long races to keep it nice and clean. Again, Plev's settling in. He's doing a great job on these soft tyres, taking them nice and deep throughout the race. Now Ola and Fire Sky on those much fresher mediums, having a look at Goodwill. And he's just overcooked it and straight into the wall. Ola and Fire Sky just went around in the dirty air. Obviously lack of safety car, and that is who's going to manage to sneak into the pits there with that late safety car. What's Alex Pato going to do? He's coming in. First person that had a chance. I wouldn't be surprised if all the guys at the back there now come in for those tyres. Yep, here they are. Crazy Kiwi. Goodwill also in. Shockwave in. Jeff stays out on those 14 lap medium tyres. See a bit of movement now for position. Yeah, just got light on that rear as the tyres just start to go a little bit. It's so easy to just go around into that section. A little bit of rear locking and around he went. And straight into the wall in that very tight part of the street circuit. So yeah, he's on those still relatively fresh tyres is Spilly. We might see maybe the likes of Plevs coming in for a pit stop on those old soft tyres. That would be a good pit stop for him to make now. The gap to the cars behind is pretty large. He can probably get away with minimal position loss. That's really played out for him very nicely. And he'll be able to react to what Scotty does. So Scotty will have to make the right call here. And what he chooses to do. We'll just see what the leaders decide to do as well, whether they can come in or not. Unfortunately, Spilly has got the disadvantage of being the lead car, and eye contrast will be able to react to whatever he does or doesn't do. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what he chooses. I'm sure he's listening now, and that's putting even more pressure on him now to see what he's going to do. And he chooses to come in. He's coming in for a fresh set of tyres. Well, eye contrast follows him in as well. So I'm sure all of the others will follow him in too. Scotty, Plevs, Zach, Twitch, Liddy. Yep, they're all coming in for fresh tyres. Oh, Jeff almost going around there, going slow. He's choosing to stay out. He wants the lead of the race, does Jeff. He might have... He's slowed a bit down here, but he's not going to be quite close enough to get the lead, but he'll gain a few positions. We'll ride on board with Jeff here. Where is he going to come out? It's going to be very close. Very close between. He's going to just come ahead of Zach there. And the two AlphaTauris there finishing in... currently sitting in some really good point scoring positions. And that's going to be vital for the Constructors' Championship, because there's only 9 points separating Aston Martin and AlphaTauri currently. Sorry, not 9 points, 11 points. Terrible maths between the top two teams. And if these guys finish where they are now, we definitely will be seeing a change in position for that Constructors. So it's going to be a team effort from those two boys. Codstar also for Aston Martin, but he's currently down in P13. As long as he keeps it clean, any points will help at this stage. For in that battle, every point is vital. So only 2 drivers choosing not to pit. My name is Jeff, and Link's also in the Haas, and he's still on relatively fresh tyres, that Haas, 11 laps on the medium tyre, and once again we're going to have some action. Don't we love it? The safety car just providing the action today. It's led quite a number of laps compared to some of our drivers, might have even led the most if you count all the laps. But yes, we have almost hitting our halfway point at this race now. Lap 25 of 55, we have lost Dan the Racer, Avalanche, Honest Crook, Combat Wombat, Rip the Beans, and Just Ola and Fire Sky. Unfortunately, just take a moment to rehydrate myself for this restart. I'm sure there'll be plenty of action coming through here, and once again Plebs choosing to go onto that aggressive soft tyre strategy. Oops, Alex Petto there picking up 5-second penalty with Goodwill. Not ideal. Let's have a quick look at those penalties there. Spilly with a 3-second, Zach with 3-second, Alex 8, Goodwill 3. Oh, what's going on here? There must be some sort of desync happening, because I did not see anything there, and he's just picked up a 5-second penalty. Crazy Kiwi 3 and a Shockwave 6. So yeah, quite a few penalties there. Almost half a field there picking up a few. Again, I think it's going to be quite important to try and keep it as clean as possible through here. There, Alex Petto just putting a bit of heat into those soft tyres. He'll be one to watch on the restart too, on the soft tyres. But yeah, that aggressive soft strategy has worked out very well for Plebs, regaining lots of positions from his lower start. So he's going to be rapid coming through here. Scotty's definitely going to have to watch out for that, and maybe, and most likely even Guy Contrast and Spilly, as you see the safety car coming in this lap. And we'll see what Spilly decides to do on the restart of this race. They've been pretty decent restarts all around so far, with the top positions generally holding on to where they are. Putting a bit more heat into those tyres, letting the safety car pull away. I might ride on board here a bit further back of Plevs and see what he can't do on this restart on those fresher tyres. And yeah, bit of a gap opening between our contrast. I'm sure he'll close that up as he comes around the last couple of corners. It's going to be right on the back of Spilly for this restart, and we'll see when he chooses to go. Safety car rounding the final corner now. And it looks like he's gone away there on the last corner. Yep, away they go. And restarting this race, bit wobbly there from the Haas in the foreground. And yeah, Plev's already closing right up on the back of Scotty. And My Name is Jeff has dropped that gap also straight away. Those soft running tyres that, yeah, he's right all over the back of Scotty. Almost looking for a move down into the chicane. We're not going to have DRS for a few laps yet, so it's going to be all about the slipstream and straight line speed and see what these guys have been running on their setups. And Plevs gets a very nice exit there straight away past Scotty. Scotty doesn't appear to fight it at all. He's not even using his battery. I think he was sort of prepared for that and just maybe biding his time a little bit. Rather not get caught up with in any incidents and just sort of let the guys ahead fight it out and see if he can pick up the pieces. Twitch Liddy having a look. And there's a battle here, 3 cars. Going to be looking, going 3 wide now down into this Ferrari, just keeping ahead. And Twitch Liddy losing. Oh, he's gone round, has Twitch Liddy, just around the inside there. It's very tight through there, and it's always a bit sketchy trying to make it a couple of cars wide through. There's just not quite enough space. Be interested to see that from an onboard perspective, as yeah, that's not a good restart for him. Luckily, he's not lost too much time, and the rest of these cars battling away. I'm sure he'll be able to catch up, and as the status quo has been kept in the top top couple of drivers. But yeah, I think Scotty there just biding his time a little bit and just sitting comfortably in P4 and just watching the action unfold ahead of him as he goes a little bit wide through turn 1. And you're not quite able, everyone's struggling a little bit. The fuel still hasn't dropped off enough there, just going around that turn 2, 3, 4 there, the rear getting a little bit light. And eye contrast really hustling. Spilly's gone wide, but he's going to get a good exit. But that eye contrast has some great traction through there. He's going to be looking already for a move down the inside. Cars now side by side. Eye contrast edging out just ahead. It's a straight drag race down with Plevs also just behind. Eye contrast is going to have the inside here. Spilly looking for a cut back, but not quite going to happen. Eye contrast puts his car just in front there, and he's gonna. Their batteries have now been recharged from that safety period, and yeah, eye contrast has just enough straight line speed there to stay ahead of Spilly. Change in position for the lead there. Plevs on those soft tyres is now going to continue to be looking and trying to make some more positions up. He's going to have to, so he might have to start watching from behind rather than looking forwards here, because Plevs is going to be very hot on those soft tyres. The greater grip on this restart, it's going to be very vital through this last section, as Goodwill's right all over the back of, is he already making a move? He already gets past there. As a bit of an orthodox Spilly, oh, manages to keep it going there. Mistake there, but that was lucky. It's not all over though. He's dropped a few positions, but he's still within touch there. And the DRS Twitch Liddy setting the fastest lap of the Grand Prix on the median, and I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see that happening more and more now as fuel levels start to drop. But yeah, these boys here, Zach has made his way back through the pack, and he's caught up to the back of Spilly. Alex Pato also on the soft tyre, and I'm sure it won't take long for him to catch up onto the back here. This battle is definitely not over for the lead of the race. I'm sure we'll be seeing these cars change position quite a few times still, especially with that soft tyre advantage of Plevs. No position change as of yet coming down the first straight. Gap's sort of opening, but Plevs is going to have a look now to the outside and gets the move done before the braking zone on eye contrast there. Scotty also right in the back of him. Jeff getting past Goodwill by DRS, and you see the McLaren of Crazy Kiwi diving down the inside of Shockwave 2, who picks up their penalty. Bit of a group of cars here, all very close together. Goodwill struggling a little bit on this restart. Crazy Kiwi right over the back, and Shockwave 2. Gonna be very close here. He looks for a move. Oh! Goodwill has gone right off the track, and it's allowed those guys 2. He's sort of, what's happened here? He's slowed down. He's dropping position. Yeah, it just seems to have just let those guys through. Plev setting fastest lap now in some clean air on the soft tyre, and he's coming into the pits. Oh, he's sustained damage from that. That was why he was going slower there. That end plate missing on Goodwill, and that's allowed those guys to... Oh no, he's picked up a 5 second speeding in the pit lane as well, just to add to his woes. But yeah, Plev's now on the lead. Let's see what he can do on the soft tyre, if he can break away from this pack. These guys are going to be very keen not to let him do so. So times now, he's looks like he's retired in that pit lane, has Goodwill. There, he's another retiree of this race, now down to 12 drivers. They're not gonna want to let Plevs get away on that soft tyre, and he did take them very far before, but they're gonna want to try and keep in touch with him, because slowly that medium tyre will start to overtake in performance over the soft tyre as it degrades a little bit quicker than those mediums. Spilly just not quite in. Just drawing him around to that second gap now. Crazy Kiwi getting past My Name is Jeff. This fight continues down. We've got a fight at the front and a fight in the middle of the pack. Let's see if anybody tries to make a move again down here. Twitch Liddy getting a great slipstream down here. Could be very close. Oh, he touches the back of that car. Whoa, just keeps it. I wonder if he got any damage from that little touch on the this front wing. Looks to be intact, and yeah, two intense battles here, one at the front, one at the rear of the pack, and then Alex Pato there sitting in the middle all on his lonesome, and Lynx all on his lonesome at the back there. Still plenty of time for some more shenanigans as My Name is Jeff looking to sort of defend that position. As he's just dropped off the back of My Name is Kiwi. Sorry, My Name is Kiwi. I'm losing the plot. And Codstar looking for a move into this hairpin. Trying around the outside. He's not going to make that work. Get a bit of a cutback here. He's going to have the DRS on Jeff. And should be pretty easy. Jeff moves to the inside to defend. And he gets past him here, but that is going to give Jeff the... oh, as we see, look at that. Twitch Liddy, late move down the inside, double slipstream, has made it past. And Jeff there losing 2 positions. Oh, he didn't have a great exit coming out of that chicane. Shockwave all over the back of him. He's going to try and look, defending to the inside is Jeff. And he's going to have DRS, which is aiding him. They go very deep into that braking zone, almost into the back of the cars in front. But keeping it clean, and wow, these guys are really giving it everything. And that battle at the front there still sort of about the same as it was before. I'll keep a close eye on that, but we'll follow on board with these guys as Shockwave makes a late move down the inside, doesn't quite manage to pull it off on Jeff. Holding on to that position, bit of an audacious move down there, but holds on to that. Very, very minor contact there. But we don't mind a bit of minor contact as long as no damage or no pushing off track happens, then minor contact is okay. Yeah, the gaps have started to open a little bit in this pack as there's individual little battles happen. Twitch Liddy wanting to keep tabs with the with Codstar in front there, who's really now moving up the positions, and this is just sort of flipped that constructors battle championship sort of around now, as Codstar is in front of Jeff, and Jeff's still gonna have to. Jeff's on those really worn 23 lap old medium tires compared to everyone else, which is not gonna help him out at all. That strategy, it's not really worked out for him in terms of that. Twitch Liddy getting onto the back of Codstar. He's gonna be looking for a move now into the second DRS zone. All the boys using up all of their energy making these, and look, that speed difference there makes the move pretty easy down the inside. Does Twitch Liddy. Codstar looking for a cutback around the outside. Twitch leading, not expecting that, and he's I think Codstar just gave him the position back there as he did cut that inside chicane to try and make that move, but yeah, caught him unawares through there. Jeff dropping in another position there. I think he's starting to struggle on those all tyres. He just goes a little bit deep into the back of that Red Bull there. Gentle touch. But yeah, that was a great move, great attempt at a move there by Codstar, but very respectful driving there, just conceding our position after going off the track slightly. This battle, let's take a look at this battle at the front here. Sort of unchanging plebs, just pulling those guys along in this train. Zach looking to try and retake a few positions and get back to where he was at the start of this race. But they seem to be stuck in a DRS train, all fairly evenly matched to these guys, all on that same medium tyre, 7 laps. It's not likely they'll be able to go to the end on these, I don't think. Late on the brakes is Zach there, but not going to be quite close enough. Important to get a good exit coming down onto the second straight. And yeah, these guys are sort of stagnated a little bit in this battle here. Neither one quicker than the other, but they're all pushing each other very hard. I'm going to take a back look at this battle here. Codstar looking for a move on Twitch Liddy now. This time with the aid of DRS, gets nicely past him. Is Liddy going to look for... No, he settles in behind him. Codstar there taking P8 off Twitch Liddy. .33 laps of 55. As now it's starting to move into the latter half of this race. Still all to play for. 12 drivers still in the running. And Name and Jeff there having pitted also onto those fresh mediums. Couldn't go any longer on those tyres. And yeah, he may make it to the end on those mediums, especially if we get a safety car or a virtual that'll aid him. Twitch Liddy not giving up this position without a fight. He's going to try and look for a retake on the DRS zone. Right on the back of that Aston Martin. Taking that hairpin nice and wide, getting a nice cut back on there and trying to maximize that exit as much as possible. Using all of the energy and going past him way ahead of the braking zone there. That was pretty amazing difference in speed. Codstar very late on the brakes there, looking to try and keep within reach of the Alfa Romeo, but he's going to have probably enough speed there to keep ahead of him, and that's alright. These guys just trading positions every other lap. Twitch Liddy going a little bit wide through that section, pushing the track limits as hard as possible, trying to scrape every second, every tenth and of the advantage in the times. Yeah, these guys still locked in this battle at the front here. 9 laps in now. But Zach does seem to be just that, seem to have that slight advantage over Spilly. Really hot on the back of him. Might we see him move into this next session? Alex Petter dropping off the pack here, not quite having the pace to keep up with these guys who are pushing each other at the front. These top 5. Zach might be a bit closer this time round. Less than half a second. Gaining. Not quite close enough in this first braking zone, but the move is going to be made in the second one rather than the first one. It's going to be who can get the best traction out of that corner, who's been charging their battery more, and who's been deploying their ERS. And not quite close enough to make a move. Icontra's doing a great job in P1 there, managing to hold onto that position, keeping plebs behind him on the soft tyre. as we might start see the medium tyre advantage over the soft now, and Plebs might start to struggle just a tiny bit more compared to the other guys. As one of these guys drops off the DRS of the car in front, it's going to be a disaster for them, because yeah, they'll lose that DRS, and then the game's over then from then for them. Scotty Pleb's not had a great first start of this lap, dropping a little bit back from my contrast, and Scotty gaining it, but then it seems to yo-yo back in coming into this chicane here. Bit of short shifting there from Plebs. He's running very low on the energy. In contrast, iContrast is doing a great job of saving his energy, and yet somehow managing to keep in front of these guys. Scotty also looking after his battery levels. Yeah, it seems to be very easy to keep the cars behind, as we see another move here on Twitch, on Codstar by Twitch Lady, getting passed into the first DRS zone. And Codstar a bit struggled to get onto the power out of that chicane, and he's gonna go straight for a move on Twitch Lady. Those guys just back and forthing every lap. You get the sense that maybe he has a little look there, but not quite. You get the sense that maybe they should stop fighting each other and maybe start focusing on the cars ahead, because they're dropping back a little bit, and wouldn't be surprised if Shockwave is starting to close up on the back of these guys. They're just enjoying this last race of the season, having a tense battle with each other. But yeah, they keep fighting like this, and might allow Shockwave to join in. Player 3 has entered the game, maybe. These guys still at the front here, still battling away with the deltas, somewhat similar to how they've been. And yeah, one little mistake, and they'll snatch up on that advantage. Yeah, again, Zach just doesn't seem to quite have that speed down the straight to gain upon the Ferrari. Does a good job under the brakes though. Traction's not too bad either. And so here we have crucial 1 second gap has now opened up from Scotty to Spilly there, as we see another change in position between Twitch Liddy and Codstar. Those guys just trading every lap. But yeah, Spilly's got to be very careful now. He does not lose that 1 second gap. Is going to put him very vulnerable to Zach. I'm sure Zach is watching that delta and just sniffing for that chance. Again, those two boys in P8 and P9 switching positions. Shockwave closing that gap now down to 2.2 seconds. And yeah, that 1 second gap is open. This next sector is going to be absolutely crucial for Spilly to get back into that DRS range of Scotty, but he's now dropping 1.2. This could be a pivotal moment now. Trying to deploy his battery to just jump into that 1 second range, and he just hasn't quite done enough, I don't think. Zach all over the back of him. This is going to be Zach's chance now to try and make the move. He's deploying his battery and got the rear wing wide open. Whoa! And he's gone into the back of Spilly. Spilly making a move to defend, and yeah, that's a safety car as well. That seemed like a somewhat late move of defense from Spilly, but Zach there not quite reacting in time, and straight into the back of him. And that is unfortunately Zach out. I don't think he's going to be very happy about that, having made it through. I'm sure we'll see some sort of reaction from him. It'll be interesting to hear his point of view from that. that incident there. Yeah, that's Zach out of the race, and a safety car just to close the gaps back up into this final section of the lap. And the feeling he wasn't anticipating the closing speed and but it's a shame we can't get a replay of that. Didn't get the perfect camera angle for it as the drivers now diving into the pits. Everyone coming in for a fresh set of tyres. Spilly almost into the back of Scotty into the pit line there. But yeah, we need some sort of replay cam. That would be amazing, and we can to see that again. Yep. There's actually a front wing change for Spilly, which is interesting. He must have just done. That's costing Alex Pato in the pits now as the Ferrari's double stack. I don't think he'll lose a position from that as the drivers there to spread out apart. And once again, there's been a bit of a switch with the tyre strategies. With Plevs always seeming to do the opposite of everyone else. Everyone going on the soft tyre, looking like they're going to want to try and make it to the end with this, what will most likely be a 15 or 14 lap sprint to the end, but Plev's choosing to go on the medium tyre, and I'm sure there'll be some penalties that are served in the pit lane, those 5 seconds getting removed. Yeah, Alex Pato there dropping down the order from that double stack and the 5 second. And yeah, so yeah, Buster, I'm not sure. It's a shame we didn't have that camera angle or a replay just to see that. It did look like a bit of a late move, but I'm hesitant to comment on that until I'd see a better camera angle and from both of their point of views as to what happened. But I'm sure we'll hear about it. If Zach is around anywhere in the chat or anything, if he can give us the lowdown of what it was like from his perspective. So yes, once again we see this late safety car now, and we get some awesome action now to the end of this race. We absolutely love to see that. Those penalties might come into play. Eye contrast in P1. Plevs on the medium tyre, the only one apart from Shockwave to be on the medium tyre. Everyone on the soft tyres. Scotty in P3, Spilly in P4, Crazy Kiwi P5, Codstar in P6. He's done a good job there, getting up to P6. It's going to be crucial for that Constructors Championship. Twitch Liddy, good recovery there, P7. Let's have a look at the position changes all inside. Plevs doing 12 positions up Scotty, right where he started. And then Shockwave getting a few. Alex Pato, the biggest loser of the drivers left, dropping 4 positions. My name is Jeff, and Link's there in P11 in the Haas. He's catching up to the pack, and he should be on the back of that pack in the next couple of corners. We're almost at the yes, we're in those final parts of the races now, and you just want to keep it clean and make it to the end now. Everyone finishing now is going to be getting those tasty points. I'll just take you through the drivers that we lost. We've Dan the Racer, our first retiree of the evening, Avalanche, Honest Crook, Combat Wombat, RIP, Rip the Beans, Oler and Fire Sky, Goodwill, and our latest DNFer, Zach JW. So yeah, we do love this sprint at the end there. After a long endurance race, and then we still get, it's almost like a separate lovely sprint at the end. So it's always worth tuning in right to the end of this this race, because you know you're always pretty much guaranteed some late race action. And who's looking forward to the race this weekend as well at this track, obviously with a different layout? I know I am. I think it's going to be a great championship deciding race, along with our championship deciding race here tonight at Race Spec, our final endurance race of the season. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the racing, and I'm sure these racers have enjoyed it, and I know that they've improved dramatically as well, just for racing for such long periods. It's been great for them, and we see eye contrast weaving to get some temperature in tyres. They're about to restart this for this final sprint, and he's going to take a little bit longer to go, and he's gone around the last corner there. But the gaps here this time are a lot closer than we've seen on previous restarts. Coming around T1, Spilly very close to the back of Alex Peder, already making a move on Shockwave there, getting past him in the first section. You see gap signs open with Crazy Kiwi a second down already. And anybody going to have a little look down here? Whoa! Spilly right on the back of Scotty there, maybe getting caught out a little bit. Hopefully he hasn't taken any damage of that. And they've now all recharged their battery so they can go back on the assault again. Jeff getting past Shockwave. Shockwave's not had a great restart on that medium tyre. He's going to hope those come back to him a little bit later. But Jeff dropped back after that, coming out of the slipstream there. He settles back in behind Jeff. Scotty there having a look at Plevs on the outside. Yeah, it seems to be pulling out of the slipstream and then not managing to to get past and convert that to a move. As now looking at back, and it looks like Spilly's missing a head now in his car. Darrow's got a red helmet. But right all over the back of Scotty is Spilly. Coming through this last sector, very hard to follow. Keeping it nice. Scotty a bit wide there on the exit. This allows Spilly with an opportunistic move to get right past him. That's crucial there for Spilly. Now he's going to be looking forwards and looking to the next driver on the list of plebs. Eye contrast there, setting fastest lap. We've got a yellow flag as Twitch Liddy has gone round. Oh no, the last corner on the curb most likely, and into the wall and gone round, and hits game over for him. That is such a shame, having made it so far into this race. Oh, shout out to Twitch Lady, what a shame for him. And yes, Billy on a charge here, setting a purple first sector. He's going to be on fire, wanting to get past Plebs as soon as possible. As he's on that medium tyre, he's got to clear him and not let eye contrast pull away. These first couple of laps might provide quite crucial, and remember he does have that penalty as well, so he's going to want to get up the road as far as possible. And Pleb's already over just around a second now behind eye contrast. I'm not sure he's going to be able to hold on to that through that twisty section, so it's going to be even more important for Spilly to get this job done as soon as possible. Jeff right on the back. Oh, as we switch onto the onboard, there's having a little bit of argy-bargy back here. And yeah, sort of, bit of a switch back here. Jeff has the inside of Shockwave, but Shockwave getting better traction out through that section and gets past him, having a fight all the way through that section, which is great to see. You don't see that very often. And he's just settled back in behind Shockwave there, not quite managing to get the move done, as we see Plevs has, yeah, he's definitely starting to drop a little bit back. Eye contrast putting in the fastest lap of the race there, 38.147, and you can see that in the gap there. DRS enabled. Plebs is going to want to just get back into the DRS range here, and Spilly will be hoping he's just not quite in that 1 second gap, and to make it easy to get past, but Plebs there closing up the gap a little bit there. It's going to allow him to have DRS and going to make it more difficult for the Ferrari Spilly to get past. And that Shockwave there already 3 seconds down on the car in front of that medium tyre. Bit of a slow restart for him. Spilly going to try and have a look for the move here. Just makes him go offline there. and goes for a cutback. It's important to get a nice exit out of here. He does get a good exit coming through here. Plev's very vulnerable, already recharging his battery. He's basically conceded that position to Spilly. He's run out of the battery, and I think Plevs must have been really using that battery to try and keep up with eye contrast because he's out of juice, and that has allowed Spilly to get through relatively easily and hot onto the back of eye contrast. How this race has turned around now. And once again, Plevs is going to look to try and hold on to the back of these guys with that medium tyre. Stay in touch with them as their soft tyres start to go off towards the end of the race. Shockwave there looking again. These two battling, Shockwave and Jeff battling back and forth. Jeff not quite right up on the back of Shockwave there through the last sector. Spilly showing he has the pace, setting the fastest lap, 37.6, much faster than Contrast's previous effort. And yeah, these guys battling it out again. And yeah, Plevs managed to keep that within the 1 second this time. Crazy Kiwi just dropped off the back a little bit, a couple of seconds shy. He's not going to have the DRS. Alex Pato probably gonna just their gap's too large also. We'll see how these guys fare down. Spilly right up on the back of eye contrast. Tucks in behind him, just waits. Again, trying to get that good exit. And again, the speed he has is pretty strong. Eye contrast seeming to relinquish that P1. He does know he's got a 3-second penalty, so he won't be too worried as of yet. And you will see how this develops through here. What's this fight here? Alex Pato and Codstar, Shockwave, and oh, Jeffrey just overdone it in that section and gone round. Oh, he hasn't hit the wall, which is good. Gets a recovery. That's allowed Lynx to get through also. That's a bit of a nightmare for Jeff. Oh, he's really struggling to get the power down here. He's got all the grass all over his tyres. He's gone around again. Overheated the tyres. All the grass. This is... oh, it's an absolute disaster for Jeff. There's no way to sugarcoat that, unfortunately. And Alex Pato going very wide in the last corner there. Trying for a move on Codstar. Right at the back, pretty much pushing him into T1. And up through this S section. They're now comfortably fat through here with the fuel loads where they're at. Codstar's going to be in trouble now down through the DRS section. Very vulnerable. Alex Pato nice and tight on that apex. And we'll see, is he going to... He chooses to not use his battery. Also, I think those guys, everyone seemed to use their battery up pretty hard in the on the restart. Codstar having trying to push. Oh, he's got a nice cutback. And what's happened to Jeff? He's parked it on. He's got going again. Yeah, those tires must be absolutely melted by now. After all the times he's gone around, 10-lap old soft tyres, that's probably made them even worse. Wouldn't be surprised if he comes into the pits at this end of the lap and tries to go for some sort of fastest lap. And Codstar there keeping that position, doing the old switcheroo, and relinquishing the position on the first DRS straight and then just retaking that on the second one. Just playing it tactically was Codstar there. Good moves, smart racing from him. Plev's still managing to hold on, which says to me that maybe those soft tyres soft runners maybe starting to struggle. Uh-oh. That's Alex Pato going around. Oh, we're seeing a lot of mistakes coming in now. It's a shame for him. He's going to rue that mistake round there. And let's open up those gaps. So really the battle we're watching here is the main battle in this race. The battle for P1, four-way battle. Jeff picking up another penalty there. And those guys are nose to tail coming through the chicane. Jeff has retired from the session. And Spilly making a move for the lead. Easily done before the braking zone. I would imagine we're going to see quite a few of those moves back and forth. These guys, look how close they are in these final closing stages of this race. Don't go anywhere, folks, because it's only going to get hot up from here. Unfortunately, Jeff retiring out of this race on lap 46 out of 55, and Link's getting past. Alex Pato is not having a good time on after those tyres spinning on them. Spilly really wants to get that 3-second gap because he's going to drop all the way down to P4 if we finish this close together. And these guys, yep, they're going to be pushing each other right to the end of this race now. Less than 10 laps remaining, and it's a hardcore sprint. We'll see if they, those soft tyres start to go off a little bit towards the end of this. This could work out for Plebs in the end, playing the slightly longer strategy. Coming round onto the main straight now. All these guys with their DRS, and Spilly's going to be pretty vulnerable here, but I think Contrast doesn't want to go for the move, but Plebs is forcing him to go for the move. Spilly goes defensive on the inside. Contrast lovely round the outside. Spilly's gone round! Oh no! He's lost it! Oh, what a terrible place to lose it. Just around the outside as Contrast goes down the inside. Oh, with only a few laps remaining. At least he's still in the race. Anything can still happen, but now it's a three-way battle for the lead. Scotty picking up a penalty. Oh no, that's going to cost him now. And his Plebs dropped out of that 1 second range of it's all happened this lap. Scotty right all over the back of Plebs. He's going to be even more motivated now with that penalty to get past Plebs. He's really hustling him through this last tight section. I don't know what's happened here. Did Plebs take damage from that spinning car? I would say yes, he has, because he nips past him. It didn't look like he had damage on his car, but he must have had some minor damage. Plebs into the pit. It's not all over. Oh, what a disaster for Plebs on the last couple of laps. And that's allowed Contrast and Scotty a clean breakthrough out of here. And Spilly still a chance to go for the podium. Just 1 second from Crazy Kiwi. How that had turned around fortunes. Podium was off the cards, but now it's back on the cards for Spilly. Dramatic lap. It's going to be just in that. Where's Plebs going to come out? It's not going to be last, coming out in P8 there. He's going to be no doubt going for that fastest lap on those fresh soft tyres that he has just put on. But yeah, that's opened up the gaps at the front there now with the 2 seconds from Contrast to Scotty and down to Crazy Kiwi. And Crazy Kiwi, both those guys with 3 second penalties, he is going to be fighting this very hard now for this podium spot. He's not going to want to give this up at all. And yeah, he's got P5 secured in the driver standings, has Crazy Kiwi, but I'm sure he'll want that final podium on the last race. Alex Pater there on the 30 seconds down. Yeah, crazy times, Buster, crazy times. Good showdown for this final race. These guys, they provide us with good entertainment. But yep, Spilly hustling the back of Crazy Kiwi now, and he's going to be hard pressed to keep this position from Spilly with no one in front of him to pull him along. Let's just take a look how much. He's not got much energy left either. So I have a feeling this is going to be fairly easy. And Spilly has a good chance of recovering this. They're not even that far off the lead. That spin didn't cost him too much, and so there's a chance that he couldn't recover this. I told you that without wearing that helmet and that balaclava, that's giving him that extra speed and that motivation now. Onto the straight now, coming. DRS open. The McLaren recharging the battery in the front. He's got quite a lot of speed coming down here. He's not going to look for the move here. He's going to be patient, play it tactically. wait for that second straight to overtake. And this should be, he's already on the recharge, is Crazy Kiwi. Yeah, he's just struggling with that battery, just no battery there. Spilly sails past him, and that puts him back onto the podium. I didn't dare talk about podiums before, but now, yeah, we're looking a bit more certain, but you never know. And he can just see Scotty up ahead of him, 2.5 seconds. And when you can see that car ahead, that really motivates you to drive on. And you can, especially if you can start to see that gap closing and closing and closing, he's gonna keep pushing in the way to the end. But it's important to keep this mistake free now, because if you pick up a penalty in these final stages now, that's gonna really ruin your chances. And that's what Crazy Kiwi's going to hope for, that he can keep within that 3 seconds and maybe even try and make another move, because he hasn't really dropped him. And if he can manage to just stay into that 1 second gap, then he still has a chance to at least retake that, or just hold on to being pulled along. Plebs there, right in the back of Lynx, coming onto lap 50 of 55. So we'll see what Crazy Kiwi does here. Not going to be close enough to make the move here, but at least, yeah, he's getting pulled along. Could still be a chance for him to retake this podium position. I'm sure he'll be pushing hard as Spilly goes a little bit deep into that chicane. Allows Crazy Kiwi to get a good little run in here, and he could even be close here. There, Spilly moves right to the inside to defend. Crazy Kiwi goes around the outside, managing to hold it around the outside, and he has retaken that position as Crazy Kiwi. These guys, now, unfortunately, this is going to allow the front runners to pull away, but these guys are going to be, I don't think they care, they're going to be fighting hard for this last podium position. Very hard for this last position. 17 seconds, yeah, it's Shockwave, oh no, that's a lot of penalties. It's probably not the most we've seen out of all of it, but I'm impressed about how a lot of the drivers have kept the penalties down this race. It's really shown they've improved through the season. But yes, less than 10 drivers remain. Spilly now looking to retake this position through here. They're going to have to time this really well, because if they keep trading this forwards and backwards, it's going to be a case of who takes that position and when. And they might have to start thinking about that, because they seem pretty evenly matched. Do the maths. And Spilly there just shooting past Kiwi. They're both very low on their energy, so it's really going to be a case of, can they recharge the most? Who's going to make the overtake at the right time, make the least mistakes, and stay in front at the right, on the right lap at the right time, as Crazy Kiwi now looking to retake on the outside. Oh no, he's gone just too wide on the outside. He was trying to open up the corner, and he went off the track, and now has picked up a 3-second penalty, and that is an absolute disaster for him. As just to confirm there, 6 seconds of penalties for Crazy Kiwi. So as long as Spilly keeps it nice and clean now, he's in the clear. That's a bit of a shame for him. Real shame. And yeah, I'm sure he'll still push along. Yeah, we do. Yeah, unfortunately, we have more DNFs than finishes. Buster. That's but yeah, it's a long race, and that does tend to happen in this tier. So still within that 1 second range. It's not over till it's over. Anything can happen, and anything does happen and will happen, as we've seen plenty of times before. But Crazy Kiwi now right on the edge of that DRS. He needs to keep it within that 1 second gap, which he manages to do. Good apex down here at turn 7. Nice, lovely, clean, and has the DRS open. He's going to be trying to get past, and 3 seconds up the road with only a few laps remaining is going to be a tall order. right on the back of Spilly. Trying to go around the outside. Nice, lovely move from Crazy Kiwi there, around the outside. I had the sense that Spilly didn't fire that too hard. Doesn't matter, because Spilly's got the DRS and he's going to sail straight back past Crazy Kiwi. And I have a feeling that he might have done that tactically on the line. And just to grab the DRS off him on the second one. Smart racing there from Spilly. And it's not looking great for Crazy Kiwi. Is this a yellow flag? What's that? Link's just going round there. Careful on those tyres. And yeah, the good. He kept that out of the wall, and he's still going there because it's a strong finish for him in P8 there. I believe this is his debut in this tier for Lynx. Yeah, there's only a few laps left now, and I think Crazy Kiwi's just got to keep the pressure on Spilly, otherwise it's all game over then. If he does, he's just got to keep piling the pressure on. I hope he makes some sort of mistake. That's the only way he's gonna recover from this. Plev's taking that P6 position, so he's made a decent recovery, but he'll be ruining that mistake around there earlier on. He's had a bit of an uphill battle, has Plevs, this race, that mistake in qualifying and in the race, and making his life hard for himself as Crazy Kiwi. Again, oh, I'm sure he would have picked up a warning for that, doing exactly the same thing there off the track. He's got to watch it, because if he picks up another penalty, then it certainly is going to be game over for him. But yeah, keep the pressure on Spilly and hope that he makes a mistake. That's all that Crazy Kiwi can do at this stage. As they come through this section, and eye contrast coming around the last corner now, about to enter the penultimate lap of the race. Always gets a bit tense here in the cockpit. A couple of laps to go. Only a few laps of 55 till the end. They just got to keep it together for these last couple of laps. But they're still fighting and pushing hard. These two boys. Bit of a lift there. Don't want to make any unnecessary mistakes. And he is going to be in DRS again. Oh no, who's that just gone around? Codstar! Oh no! What were we just saying about making unnecessary mistakes in the last couple of corners? Codstar going around, unfortunately, but I think due to the DNF of My Name is Jeff, that has secured the constructors for Aston Martin at the top, with AlphaTauri in a neat second and Williams in third. I think we're going to be seeing any real changes in terms of that. What about the driver standings? Any other changes? Scotty was looking pretty good for that P2 in this a bit of a slide there. Crazy Kiwi really hustling those tyres. He's dropped back a tiny bit out of the DRS range of Spilly, and that might be the and the Codstar getting past Shockwave there, just retaking that position. Good job for him. And it looks like Crazy Kiwi's not quite close enough here. We're going to see any other final action on this last lap, I wonder. Shockwave, half a second behind Codstar. But yes, eye contrast on the final lap of the final race of Season 5. And he already had the championship secured, but he's run a pretty faultless race at the front here. Scotty doing a good job making that P2 stick. And Plev's a bit of a topsy-turvy race for him. A few mistakes that he's not going to be happy with. But yes, he'll be securing that P3 position Zach also in P4, and Crazy Kiwi in P5 securing that championship finishes there. I think that's going to be it for our change of positions on the board. Really, there's not too many finishes, not too many guys still going. But eye contrast here coming into the final sector now. And it's been a great race. It's been a great season. It's been a hard season, these guys doing these long races. But I'm sure they'll all come out of it better drivers, more consistent drivers, more quicker drivers. Bit of a change of position down in Codstar, but we see eye contrast coming around the final corner, and he takes P1 in this final race. Scotty P2 around the line, Spilly P3, Crazy Kiwi taking P4. Plevs coming around the last couple of corners now, and comes around the final corner to take P5. Codstar, great race from him. Moving up through the positions, and yeah, great drive from him. Shockwave also good job finishing. Links there, good 5 place improvement. And Alex Pato also, he's I'm not sure if he's still there, but that is the end of the race. Good job. Thanks everyone for tuning in. What a season it's been, and we've still got a few races left of this season. If you guys want to tune in tomorrow night, we've got the elite tier also. Taking a selfie on the podium is eye contrast there. And yeah, once again we got, shown that we have that late safety car at the end there for that last final sprint race action, and we just love to see that. Podium, boys on the podium there. Good job from all that finished the race. So we'll just round off this order for you guys here. DNFers down the race: Avalanche, Honest Crook, Combat Wombat, Rid the Beans, Ola and Fire Sky, Goodwill, Zach, Twitch Lady, and my name is Jeff. Then the last 9 drivers finished off with Alex Pato, Lynx, Shockwave, Codstar, Plevs, Crazy Kiwi, Spilly, Scotty, and Eye Contrast. But congratulations to Eye Contrast for securing the Drivers' Championship and Aston Martin for the Constructors. Scotty in P2 and Alpha Tauri in P2, and Plevs in P3 with Williams in P3. That's going to be all from me today, guys. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for commenting, and yeah, check out the last race tomorrow. Should be a banger too. Thanks all, we'll hopefully see you next season.